Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. I'm your brother in faith, Shabir Ally, speaking to you from the Muslim Media Hub. This Ramadan, we're dealing with faith and doubt. 30 big questions about belief. The question we are addressing today is, why does God allow suffering? We've already seen good arguments to show that God exists, and we've explained why we do not see God. But somebody may come back to us and say, but wait a minute, there's all this suffering and evil in the world. If God really existed, wouldn't he remove all of that suffering? And the fact that the suffering is still here proves that God does not exist. So how do we answer that? Well, here are some of the points that we may advance. Let me list them very quickly, and then we'll go into some details. One, some punishment, some of what we call evil and so on, is not necessarily punishment from God, but it could be just a part of the natural order of things. God created a natural world in which there's cause and effect. In order to produce the kinds of beings that we are, human beings with free choice, then the universe itself had to be created with a combination of flexibility and fixity. So some things are fixed, some things are flexible, and it is due to the flexible elements that we have some apparent randomness that gives rise to things like natural disasters and so on. God created us with the sense to choose right and wrong. So some evils and harms that occur in the world may be the result of just human beings choosing to do the wrong things with that good sense that God gave them. And that could not be blamed on God, because God has a higher purpose for creating human beings with that sense of differentiation between right and wrong. Things that we call evil in the world, they may actually result in something that is much better. And so it is overall good that God created the world in which, though there are evils, good results from the evil, so that in the long run, we see that the result is a good one. So let's say, for example, there is an earthquake, a lot of people die, but then a lot of people come forward with charitableness, with sympathy, with increased love for other human beings and so on. And all of these are good things. And who is able to measure all of these good things and to see which actually outweighs? In the end, it may be that all of the good that comes out of those, what people call bad things, is actually good. Now, we believe that there is another life after this one. So when people are measuring the evilness of something, they're just measuring in terms of the effects in this world. But when we think about the grander life, the life hereafter, which is everlasting, we see that this world in comparison is only minuscule. It's almost like having a huge canvas that is entirely white, and let's say we put one red spot on that canvas. If we zoom up close, that's all we're going to see, that red spot. But if we zoom out, we're going to see the large canvas, and then the red spot will fade by comparison. In a sense, our world is like that. From the viewpoint of God, what is happening in this world that we call evil is vastly outweighed by the good that is going to be for us in the life hereafter. And in this sense, we have a hadith that says that the state of the believer is marvelous. If something good happens to the believer praises God, and that is good for the believer. If something bad happens to the believer is patient with God, and that too is good for the believer. In either case, the believer gets more blessings, and this is stored up for us in the life hereafter, which will be an everlasting period of happiness. That is like the vast white canvas, and what we're seeing here as the red of this world, the evil and the suffering and so on, that is only minuscule. To recap all of these points and to come together with a comprehensive conclusion, let's say that some things happen because they're a natural order of things. So they're naturally going to be earthquakes and volcanoes and so on. Not because God wanted them to be so, but because in order to create the kinds of beings that we are, then it was necessary for God to create this kind of world in which there will be some such things. But those natural disasters are balanced by the good good that comes out of people. When such a disaster strikes, people come forward with sympathy, with generosity, with increased love for human beings. We see that this is not the end of life. This world is only minuscule compared with the life hereafter, the vast white canvas of the life hereafter where everything is fine and dandy, nice and easy. That is going to far outweigh the difficulties that we have in this life. So we just have to be patient with God in the meantime. That is my quick answer to why is there suffering in the world. And you can see that none of this proves that God does not exist. Rather, it only shows that God exists, but he has some good reasons for allowing some evil and suffering to occur in this world. And in the life hereafter, all of this will be gone. What we have to do in the meantime is believe in God and try to please him the best that we can. We are dealing with faith and doubt, 30 big questions about belief. Tomorrow, we'll come back and deal with another big question, the question about hell. Why does God have hell in store for people if he's so merciful and kind? So continue to watch this entire series. And if you are enjoying iftars, then one of the most enjoyable iftars this Ramadan will be coming up on Saturday. That's going to be at the Sagan Banquet Hall starting at 3:30 p.m. We'll have some lectures, some video presentations, and we'll show some of the films of Muslim heroes that we have compiled over time. And we want the entire community to come out. So please, you do join us. To get a ticket, go to our website, muslimmediahub.com, and get a ticket, bring out the entire family, and join us. I look forward to seeing you there this Saturday, 3:30 p.m., March 8th, at Sagan Banquet Hall in Mississauga. Peace be with you from the Muslim Media Hub, and Ramadan Mubarak.
Islam teaches us to spread goodness and truth, and media is one of the most powerful ways to do that. Support Muslim Media Hub to help spread the message of Islam across the world. Visit muslimmediahub.com.